NFL Divisional playoffs. Guys, we got 7 games left in the regular season. I am ecstatic that we've got to this point in the year up this much money. Tell them how it's been, man. Tell them what's up.
Man, it's been gravy train, man. I mean, we've been hitting bets, basically. You know, we've been giving out good ones. We've been hitting them ourselves. We can't be stopped right now, man. We cannot be stopped. Let's keep it moving.
I think full disclosure is I ended up betting every game this week. That's the problem. I had fun. But I went 4-2. The ones I gave out on the show as certified 2-1. So, you know, take it or leave it. It is what it is.
Right.
We got 4 more for you. Games I care about. Games that matter. This is great.
Oh, man.
I'm having fun. It's going to be a banger this weekend, too.
Hey, I went 1-1 with the bets that I said I was going to bet, but I did go overboard with it, you know, but I still did pretty good. Overall, just picking and choosing the bets that we did last week, I went 5-1. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
I should have bet all of those that I picked, but I did little unders and, you know, that type of stuff.
Had my dick in my hand betting Texas.
Man, Texas need to be fired upon, man.
Yeah. You can keep that college shit, Dre. Let's just get right into it. We got 4 games this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Your 1 seeds play first. They started out with Kansas City hosting Houston. Kansas City actually went to 8.5. Unless you got something on FanDuel that proves to me otherwise, I've seen 8.5.
Still at 8.5 right now.
8.5. It did open at 7.5. I get the number. I agree with the number. I know people are betting it. I got 1 bet this week. This ain't it, though. I'll lean Kansas City because they got 3 weeks of rest, and they've covered the last 7 in the postseason.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet this one because KC is still tricky with covering. I mean, they've been covering the last few games, but actually they said 11-7 ATS.
Yeah, over the regular season.
11-7-1, I believe.
Yeah, they weren't like terrible.
It's not terrible.
Like a terrible bet. They're just hard to bet. You can't pinpoint the weeks.
I think this is going to be a defensive game. What I am going to bet, though, in this particular game, and this is a money pick for me, is the under 41.5. I think both defenses are going to be ultra aggressive. It's going to be hard to score. The weather is going to be very cold, from what I heard. I mean, it's just going to be one of those games.
Yeah, I'm just worried about Houston's passing offense, too.
Yes.
You got one guy you can throw to, then it's Robert Woods. And no offense to John Mechie, obviously. You know, he's overcame a fucking lot more than I ever could. But it's just, you know, for me, I'm like, and Joe Mixon's good, but I like Kansas City's run defense. And it's so funny. It's like glaring. Kansas City on paper does not look very great. They're like 13th in passing offense, 22nd in rushing yards per game. Like, they're not a sexy team, but you know what they do? They win.
They just win.
So,
well, one thing about it, though, is they haven't been fully healthy, though, throughout the season.
Yep.
Like, they're going to have Hollywood Brown is going to be back. Well, he's been back.
He's been back, yeah.
Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins.
Rashee Rice playing? Did he go to jail? What happened? He's got to be done, right?
I don't think he's playing. I do not believe he's playing.
He might be back. You still got Travis Kelce. And
yeah, man, you got all the boys.
Justin Watson will catch a 40-yard touchdown pass. And
right.
Guys coming out the woodworks like Noah Gray. Noah Gray was pretty, significant earlier in the season this year, too. Offensive tackles have been really hurt. They, I believe, are healthy at that point. I hope Sumatra's playing. I'd love to see Will Anderson eat that ass up, but that's just me.
Well, one thing about Houston, too, is their secondary is not healthy at all,
so it's Lassiter and Stingley Jr., and then no Jimmy Ward, no Jalen Petrie.
No Jalen Petrie.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to be hurting, and we all seen how their offensive line is. It's not healthy either, like you said.
Not good. Not great.
I would take the spread, but I'm just kind of nervous about that 8.5 though. But I definitely would probably take KC in a money line parlay, maybe.
Yeah, I seen the money line parlays going around. That's just KC, Detroit, Philly. Who ruins this?
Boom.
Probably Philly, but we'll get to that game.
Yeah.
We do have to talk about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, it's the next game. They're the primetime Saturday game. And I think they want people to watch that belt to ass. They're 9.5-point favorites, open at 8.5. Over, I believe it's 55.5 or something crazy. Like, it's huge.
That's a lot, a little bit. I mean, for a playoff game. But, I mean, Detroit is capable. They're going to score. I might take the team.
Team total, yeah. And that's where, this is my one bet of the week. I love Detroit here. As much as I've supported this team all year, I got my future. And this week, I got my 2 futures. I'm just hanging out. I'm feeling good about them. But I think Detroit belt to ass these guys. I think Detroit scores 45 points. Like, I know that it's a playoff game and it's this and that. They haven't showed me they can't just run all over these guys. They got, one of the best rushing attacks in the NFL.
And Montgomery will be back.
Gummy's back.
Yes.
You heard it here first, or second or third, depending on if we're your reliable source for sports. Probably shouldn't be, but we're here giving you picks. And as Detroit homers, I believe we're both locking it in.
Yeah, this is a money pick for me. I'm definitely locking it in. I mean, I like the 8.5, so I should have jumped on that early, but I'll take the 9.5 too, man. I think Detroit dominates this game. They're just going to run all over them. Now, I'm not saying the Commanders won't score, and that's why this over-under is so high. But I just think Detroit will definitely outscore them, and they'll make a few stops, I believe.
Yeah, you know what this game will probably be reminiscent of is the Buffalo-Denver game that just happened. I think you're going to see a lot of, press man with these weird 5-6 guy blitzes. You're gonna try and get, Jaden Daniels to run that thing, but you're probably going to play a QB spy half this fucking game.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Make them throw it deep. Make them beat you deep. You got the 2 best safeties in the league.
Yeah.
Let's see it fly, because Jaden Daniels has a beautiful deep ball.
He does.
I think you got the better secondary, and you got the home field advantage. The crowd's going to be loud. They're going to be awesome. I'm excited for this team, man. I think even without all the pieces they have, they are serious Super Bowl contenders still.
Yeah.
And I'm all in. I believe, and I've been saying this for weeks, Detroit, Philly.
Yo, the fans are going to go crazy in the stadium, man. It's going to be berserk, man. On Saturday night.
People are mad about the pricing of the game as well.
Hey, they still going to be there. The pricing is crazy, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay $500 for this game. You want next week's game, but, it's a sell if you got the money like that, too, of course. But I just don't see Washington really putting up a fight.
Well, let me ask you.
They'll score early, and then second quarter Lions come out, and they score 17 on your head.
Well, do you think the Commanders can run at all?
No.
On the Lions? Okay.
Maybe Jane Daniels and scrambles, but it'll be one of those, Jane Daniels throws for 212 yards and runs for 50, and then the rest of his, rushing attack does nothing, but it's a blowout game anyway because, Lions win up 31-7 or, early in the game, third quarter.
Yeah,
I don't think – and it's for much as I like Washington, and I just don't believe the numbers still. I don't believe the secondary is any good in Washington. And maybe it's just, something I seen when watching Lamar cook them, or who else cooked these guys. I seen Jalen Hurts cook these, or Kenny Pickett cook these guys, even though they won that game. I mean, they are suspect, and I think Detroit got the best possible draw out of all of this.
Well, I think defensively, too, the Commanders are going to have to be accountable for all these skilled players, man.
Mm-hmm. On offense,
I mean, it's no way that you're going to be able to stop these guys.
The Lions are okay, how do we stop Terry McLaurin, Jane Daniels, Brian Robinson Jr., and Austin Eckler? All right. This is one of your weaker offensive lines in the league as well.
Right.
If you look at every single team left in the playoffs rated their offensive line, it's them in Houston at the bottom here. Let's be straight up honest about it.
Detroit's going to eat that ass up.
I think they're going to get pressures. I think they're going to make Jaden, nervous, and they're going to cause some turnovers, and that's going to be, they're going to make their mark. And they're going to show Philly or LA hey, we're here to win.
I can't wait to watch that game, too. Watch all these games.
Oh, we're going to be 7 sheets to the wind all weekend. I cannot wait.
Oh, my gosh, man.
Thank the high heavens we got Monday off, Dre.
I know, right? These are the nitty-gritty games, too, man. I mean,
yeah.
Well, the real game's going to be next week,
Next week will be the 2.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably shed a tear, win or lose.
Well, this week is some great matchups, man. Great matchups.
And I like the Saturday Sunday thing. I love being able to watch my team on a Saturday.
Right.
And then being able to watch my team in primetime Sunday night.
Oh, that's gonna be a hell of a game too.
Stay at home on. Oh man.
Right, you ain't got to worry about.
Shout out to the holiday, MLK.
Right. MLK.
If Lamar wins, and we'll talk about this in a minute. If Lamar wins, oh man, MLK Day is gonna be crazy for the Baltimore fans.
Yes, it will be.
So
man.
let's go to Sunday's games. Starting off the Sunday doubleheader, we have the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the LA Rams. Philly at this point, I believe, is still a 6-point favorite, or has it moved to 5.5 because of the action?
I got it at 6.5.
Woo! I'm still seeing 6s, so we'll call it at 6.
Okay. All right.
Just to be fair, keep us on the same number.
Right.
But obviously, it depends on who you're betting. And that's kind of telling right there. That should make anyone, my full disclosure here, I love Philly 6. And if all the money's going on the Rams, why is that number going to 6.5?
I don't know, man.
That's just my big brain thinking here. It burns me a lot, but I don't. A public dog in this situation with reverse line movement, that just gives me more the reason to back Philly this week. And you know my theme this week. I'm backing home teams.
Well, I think we're creatures of the moment too. I mean, we just saw the Rams do what they did.
Yeah, they belted Minnesota.
Yeah,
but
against Minnesota.
You know.
But we have to understand.
Minnesota fucking sucked last night.
They were bad, man.
Not only did they get a home field advantage because, they moved the game.
Yeah, neutral site,
a fan advantage because their fans showed up and LA's, kind of had to evacuate their homes and lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
They got that belt to ass. They didn't change the game plan at all from what Detroit showed them.
Good.
And you lose 4 games all year, 2 to the same team. 2 of the same kind of team, and you didn't do any sort of adjustments in that game, it felt like.
They could not run or pass, nor play defense in the first half.
3 yards a pass for that whole game by Darnold. It was pretty pathetic. So I like Philly here. I also like the perception because I hate when I see wide receivers do wide receiver things like A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
With the book Inner Excellence. Let me give you the advertisement.
Right. I might have to pick that book up. It seemed interesting.
I got nothing for you.
AJ was bored.
He was a diva with his one catch. They should have won by 20 points. And then you got people saying the game is fixed because Saquon didn't run in for a touchdown with like a minute left. Maybe he didn't want to rub it in. Maybe he just was being a nice guy.
He was being nice, huh? But in all actuality, though, Philly did not look that great. Now I'm saying may have been rust for Hurts.
Yeah.
They just didn't look good, but they won. They played well enough to win the game, and they made plays when they needed to. For me, I am a creature of the moment. I think that the Rams will play Philly tough. I'm gonna cover this 6.5. If it goes to 6, I might switch it up though.
I'm fine with you taking
6.5. I like
because we're talking covers. Or do you think they? I mean, I think they're live to even win the game. I'm not saying they're not.
Right. I think the Rams are a tough team. I mean, they've played well defensively as of late.
Jared Verse's been great.
Yeah. Stafford has the experience. He's won a Super Bowl. He has playoff experience. The coach has playoff experience too.
Yep.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be a close game.
Sirianni also has been to a Super Bowl as well.
Sirianni, yes. I like the matchup. I just love this matchup, man. I can't wait to watch this game.
Yep.
But I think I'm not putting any money on it, but I'm gonna go the plus 6.5 for the Rams or 6.
Me and the Mystery Man on Philadelphia this week. Mystery Man was also on KC with all of us as well, right?
Yep, KC and Detroit.
He loves his home teams. I just think Philly's it's gonna be a very physical game. Like you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Historically too, when I won't even give stats because I don't remember them off rip, but I remember hearing this secondhand. Like quarterbacks coming back from a concussion usually don't play well their first start, and Jalen Hurts wasn't too great.
So second
start, he's got his feet back under him. He got a lot of rest.
I think they'll open it up as far as their passing attack. I think Philly will.
And I think Philly has a better scheme than Minnesota did in defending the Rams. They're going to play a lot more man, even though no Nakobe Dean. You got Zach Bond out there. You got Jordan Davis up there.
Okay.
Your defensive four is, Jalen Carter's up there. He was considered for, defensive player of the year.
They're a beast defensively. They are a beast defensively.
I know Brandon Graham is out for the year, but I was mentioning him being out for the year. They got CJ Jace. He had a pick in that last game, I believe.
Yeah.
He showed up. I beve he's still is it Darius Slade Jr. still playing there too that I've seen?
Yeah. Darius made some plays in that game.
He did, yeah. He's been there a long fucking time.
He listen, he was solid in Detroit too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's had a great career. All the power to him. I'll take Philly here, but we will go to the final game of the slate, probably the game of the week. And people are very conflicted so far. This game opened at 1 point in Buffalo's favor, and it's moved to 1.5 in Baltimore's favor. But Buffalo hosting these guys, man. This is the MVP matchup we've all wanted to see.
Oh, man. It's a lot on the line in this game, man.
Like, legacy-defining game this is.
Yes. It's so many narratives in this game, too. Mm-hmm. Like both quarterbacks trying to get over the hump.
Yeah, basically. And then they got to meet Mahomes, and then one of them will probably
That's another hump that they have to get over, too.
So you got two humps you got to get over. This is the first one. I think for the Bills, losing in the divisional, they have to break that streak. They've lost their last 3 in the divisional, and necessarily hasn't been pretty in a couple of those games. Losing to KC twice on some really heartbreaking shit, and then getting just belt to ass by the Bengals when you couldn't get a pass rush, and Leslie Frazier was still the D coordinator there. But for me, obviously, I love the Bills in this spot. I don't think I'll bet this game. I'm just gonna see it out with my futures bet. But the Bills haven't lost at home this year, man. Perfect 9-0,
man. 9-0, and that says a lot right there, man.
It's gonna be 8 degrees.
Oh my goodness, man. Now, we talked about this off air. These teams played against each other.
Yep, week 4.
Yes, week 4. So, and Baltimore, they pretty much did their thing. Was it 38-10, I believe?
35-10. They whooped their ass, but there was a lot of key players missing in the game. You did not have Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, Taron Johnson, Von Miller, I believe, gets suspended like 2 days after, and they didn't even suit him in that game. And Khalil Shakir got hurt in that game. And that was before you had Amari Cooper as well.
A lot of injuries.
So there's a lot of injuries. You're still kind of fresh off the Josh Allen broken hand. If you remember, even in week 3, the week before when they played that Monday nighter at home when they whooped the shit out of the Jags, Josh is handing the ball off with his right hand on runs to the right side.
Right, true.
So he's fully healed. He's ready to go. I think it's going to be a belt-to-ass game. I think Ravens are going to show up, and they're going to want – what the Bills want is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's the guy they need to stop.
Yeah,
he had
and that's
200 yards on their head, and I think they can stop them.
You think they can stop them?
And
okay.
Then,
that's going to be a big if. If they can stop Derrick Henry, then they will win this game. I was going to ask you, now we do know also that Baltimore's defense has gotten a bit better as well.
Yeah, but because they played Check's notes, the Giants, the Browns, the Steelers.
Pittsburgh, I was about to say Pitt.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't played anyone and I want to say, no, they played the Raiders early in the year, but they haven't played the most significant schedule. But they did play the Eagles, in a rainy game, and they did beat them, so I'll give them that.
Well, I mean, this game for Baltimore is very important for them. It's definitely important for Lamar's legacy, like you said. And Lamar sometimes tends to tighten up in big games.
He even admitted. He said, he's like, he thinks it's all on his shoulders.
Well, I think, and this is why I chose Baltimore, because they have Derrick Henry. Now, so Lamar doesn't have to take the full load. Now, the receiver is still going to be hurt. What's his name?
Zay Flowers.
Zay. Yeah, he may not play.
Yeah.
They don't know yet.
Didn't look like it mattered last week, so.
Yeah, but this particular game, it may matter.
This may matter,
the little things may matter in this game because it's so competitive. It's so close. for some reason, the only reason that I'm choosing Baltimore right now is because of Derrick Henry.
That's it.
They have not had a Derrick Henry in the playoffs. And I know the Bills' defense is better, and they got all their guns there. But, man, if you can control the line of scrimmage and run that ball, man, 9 times out of 10 you're going to win. Now the quarterbacks will cancel each other out because they're able to same.
The Bills do the same thing though. They run the piss out the ball.
Yeah, James Cook is no is not a hoe.
You know what I mean? So here's the thing. This is what I think they're a weird comp because you have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are like polar opposites of Josh Allen and James Cook.
Right.
Where like Josh Allen is your Derrick Henry of the QBs.
Okay.
And your James Cook is like your Lamar Jacksons of running backs.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like a speed guy versus like a tough guy.
Yeah. Okay, that's a
and
good
I
example.
think there's like a disconnect because everyone's like, oh, he's just gonna bowl everyone over. I'm like, in my opinion, missing your whole linebacking core against the best power back in football.
You need all your players.
You're going to need your guys. And I think, they had that one huge run right to start the game in week 4. It was an 80-yard run. He gashed them. That's the biggest reason he had 200 yards. If that was a 2-yard carry, we wouldn't have been talking about that game nearly as much.
Right.
Also, because it's a blowout, you sit your best player down 25. People are like, Josh Allen got benched that game. Yeah, you're going to play the guy who's making all the money down 25?
Game was over by that time.
Yeah,
it didn't even matter.
I don't think people understand that.
Yeah, this is a coin flip to me, man. You know what I mean? It's that close.
Even
FPI.
I don't know. Yeah, FPI has it 50-50. Bettors, it's slightly in towards Baltimore. You're going to get a slight money differential on people betting the Ravens this week.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. The media has you believing that Lamar Jackson is the greatest player of all time and Josh Allen is a bum. All in the matter of 4 weeks. They went from Josh Allen is MVP to actually Lamar has better stats. And then we talk about the MVP race and we see these things where it's like, but now it's all about the numbers. What about last year when Lamar won the MVP? Dak Prescott had better numbers.
Yeah, he did. And with this matchup between the quarterbacks, I think both quarterbacks are brilliant. Yeah,
they're 1-2 this year.
Yeah,
they are 1-2.
So, and it may come to. It's definitely going to come down to quarterback play in this game as well. And this is why it's so hard for me to choose. I mean, I'm leaning Baltimore.
It's going to be a lot of power run. If it's 8 degrees, it's going to be a fun game.
It is going to be a fun game. Now, what was that you had mentioned to me about Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry and Lamar they've never played a game under like 23 degrees or something silly. I don't know if that's true, but that sounds great. That's great rage bait, if not.
Well, let me see. Lamar played in Louisville. Kentucky doesn't get that cold.
Beneath,
not that cold.
And Baltimore gets cold too, so I'm like, there had to have been a game they played in 10-degree weather.
Maybe not. It's going to be freezing, though.
Maybe last year in the AFC Championship game it was cold because, it was January in Baltimore.
Hey, I wouldn't have it any other way, though, man. This is going to be a fun game to watch, man.
Football weather. You got weather, man. 2 brilliant teams.
And I'm not going to put any money on this game. I'm just going to watch. But I'm leaning Baltimore.
I don't have to go to work the next day and be sad because everyone knows how much I love the Bills. They can see me the day after once I get my thoughts together on. Because I told someone today, I said, if Bills win this game, they win the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right.
That's my proclamation to you.
Well, we got a friend at work, a co-worker, that he's a huge Minnesota fan, and we didn't let him have it. We told him beforehand that Minnesota was going to lose.
Okay, I had to ask you, was that you that told him that I said the Rams were going to win? Because he came up to me so sad.
Yeah, I thought you told him.
No, I didn't tell him.
I told him for me and for you.
Oh, man. I didn't want him to know.
Hey, I swear I thought you told him that, man. No, I told him, I was like, I think they're going to lose, man.
And then once he was like, you for real? And I was like, yeah. I felt so bad.
But he knew it too, though. Because when I told him that, he was like, yeah, you might be right. And he told me reasons, and we agreed with each other about the reasoning.
Yeah.
And, today we talked about the reasoning. And it was the same thing we had said before the game started.
They didn't adjust. It was pretty brutal.
So I know how that is, man. Listen, I'm going to be heartbroken when my hopefully they don't. But if my Notre Dame Fighting Irish lose,
Yeah, he won't be showing
Tuesday
up.
is
Yeah,
gonna
you ain't
be
gonna be
horrible
showing
for
up.
me.
Yeah, actually, you gotta show up.
I do have to. I gotta be there.
It won't
you know
be
what
as
I mean?
bad for you.
Might have a little tear in my eye.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Couple of them.
You'll give some content on the game. I don't give a shit about. I hate OSU. Full disclosure, so much. Notre Dame, kind of the same thing, but I root for Notre Dame. But I couldn't give you an educated pick, so that's up to this guy here.
Go Fighting Irish, and I will have a show for you guys.
Go Lions.
Thursday.
Go Bills.
Yes.
Go
Let's
Eagles.
All the picks that we pick, go team.
Yeah, go team. That is all for now. We will come with some real AFC, NFC predictions next week.
Yes.
And then after that, it's going to be some Super Bowl content. I did not get to golf content. I'll get there eventually.
Oh, yes.
Is what it is. I didn't bet the Sony. No, I didn't know if Nick Taylor was going to fucking win at 125 to 1. But Stone Cold Killer, I guess, on tour. He has like 5 tour wins. He always wins at like 100 to 1.
100 to 1. Oh, my goodness, man.
So, is what it is. Dre will probably give some NBA picks in the next few weeks too, as this is starting to come out. And
hey, I've been hitting, but I've been quiet about it, man. I'm gonna start putting it on camera so y'all can see it.
The moment I start betting Pistons money line again, I'll probably get burned. But Fumbling the Bag podcast, like, subscribe, all the good shit. We will catch you next time.